Hi, my name is Sandra Cambridge, and I am a master's level nursing student at the University of Texas at Arlington in the Leadership and Complex Healthcare Systems class. This is my leadership book review. The book I am reviewing is Our Iceberg Is Melting by John P. Cotter and Holger Rathgruber. These authors are qualified because John P. Cotter was the professor of leadership at Harvard Business School. He is educated at MIT and Harvard, internationally recognized for research on leadership and organizational change. He is the creator of the 8-step process that forms the book's framework itself. Holger Rathgruber is a former Fortune 500 executive. He is a leadership consultant and coach. He translated change management concepts into a short practical fable, and he brings an operational perspective that makes the theory accessible in working teams. The two authors together, they combine evidence-based leadership theory with a memorable way to teach it. The purpose and target audience. The purpose is that authors are using a penguin colony facing a melting iceberg to explain how groups can recognize a threat, overcome resistance, and create urgency while successfully carrying out major change. Of course, the deeper purpose is to make Cotter's 8-step process easy to understand, remember, and discuss. The target audience. This book is written for a broad audience, not only senior executives. It really fits any new or experienced leaders, teams preparing for a change, students that are in the process of learning leadership, organizations needing a shared language for change. It covers a wide variety of groups. What the book is about. It's a fable, and it was really a great read. So Fred, which is one of the penguins, notices a problem. He's a quiet penguin. He's an observer, and he discovers that the colony's iceberg is about to break apart. He reaches out to Alice, who is one of the elders in the community, and she helps create urgency on the matter. She helps the leadership council take the warning seriously when prior to that they would not. The group forms a team, and all different strengths in the team are brought together to build the credibility amongst the rest of the penguin colony. All in all, after all was said and done, the colony moves. The penguins were able to communicate. They removed all barriers that they had in communication. They were able to celebrate progress together, and they were able to adopt a new way of life for the colony. The change process beneath the story. So this book covers Cotter's 8-step process. And it creates urgency, builds a guiding team, develops the vision, communicate for buy-in, so they were able to communicate with the colony, empower action, create short-term wins, short-term goals, and easier goals to achieve, and they did not let up, and they made change stick. So when they followed all the steps, they were able to make it a permanent change. The strengths of the book. Accessibility. The short story format of this book really avoided any heavy academic language. It was really easy to understand, and the model was quick and easy to begin understanding, which helped communication. Examples in the book that were very memorable. So there was a demonstration in the book about a glass bottle, and that demonstration shows how when ice does form in that bottle, that it would crack. And that's how they were able to explain to the rest of the colony that when the iceberg refroze in the pockets that were melting, that it would cause a big crack in the iceberg itself. When they were able to explain that and show the results to the colony, that's when they were able to express the need for change. Shortcomings and limitations. So the change process appears very orderly and probably not quite realistic when you're dealing with a real organization. It does give limited attention to power, staffing, resources, policies. So all of those things that we have in place aren't taken into account for this 8-step process. Evidence from the book. So did the authors achieve their objectives? The colony does recognize a threat, builds a credible group. They developed the vision that they had, which was becoming nomadic. They communicated repeatedly and consistently. They created visible wins, and they were able to change the culture within the colony. Application to healthcare. A nurse leader could use the framework when introducing a new safety workflow, standardizing a practice, or improving communication. But the framework itself should be paired with frontline input, of course, ongoing evaluation on how it's working within the team, and of course, data. My recommendations and further action for the book. I do recommend this book is great for emerging nurse leaders, leadership students, teams when they're beginning a change effort, and leaders who need a simple way to explain resistance and urgency. I probably wouldn't use this alone for any high risk or politically complex change decisions. Any decisions involving major ethical or safety concerns, or any detailed implementation planning. Further action, I would pair this book with stakeholder analysis, what's going on, psychological safety strategies, measurable outcomes, and structured improvement methods, such as a plan, do, study, act model. The final takeaway of this book is that leadership is not only identifying the melting iceberg, it also helps people believe that change is necessary, or penguins in this matter, that it's also possible and worth sustaining. They're able to build that trust within the community to make that change happen.